Welcome everyone. Monster Producer, as of today, is a thing in Dayton. We are trying to reach those others who are searching, looking, unsatisfied with where they are, hungry, need knowledge. I'm getting trained. It has been beneficial for me. I have 3 coaches. And Coach Burke helps us with our structures, our complexities, which I call the fundamentals. So, if you can give Coach Burke a big round of applause for my super coach. He's going to come up and share some concepts with you.
Come on, Gene. Thank you, man. Yeah, give him a hand. I was walking around the room and I said, either these people really do like you or they're lying to me, okay? Because everybody's like, Gene, such a cool person. Listen, my name is Coach Michael Bird, and you're going to figure out really quickly that of my southern accent. I'm from outside of Nashville, Tennessee. I did spend a decade of my life as a head women's basketball coach, and that's why you see this big gaudy championship ring on my right finger, as I used to take 14 to 18-year-olds and try to get them to win. So if you ever think you're having a bad day, just think about putting your future in the hands of 14, 18-year-olds, right? and that's what I had to do. I had to take kids, and I had to teach them how to win. But one of the things I was doing is I was going over to the business world, and I was studying the best businesses, and I was bringing those concepts back over to my players. So imagine when you were in high school, 14 years old, you were learning the 7 habits of highly effective people, the principles of good to great, the 5 dysfunctions of teams, the 5 disciplines of a learning organization. So not only was I coaching you in how to win games, I was really building the body, the mind, the heart, and the spirit of my players. And pretty soon what happened is we began to win. We began to win a lot of games. People started asking me, what are you doing with those kids? What are you doing with those kids? And I'm like, man, I'm just coaching the whole person. Because let me ask you a question. What good is it to have knowledge with no desire? See, that's the mind with no heart. What do we say about people who have a lot of talent, but they don't have any desire? What do we say about those people? We say they're lazy, right? And I have a little joke, and I say this. If someone's telling you at 42 you have potential, that's not a compliment, right? If they're telling you at 14, that's a compliment. But if they're telling you, and I see people like, man, you got so much potential, but you're 42, you need to do something with it, right? So I started coaching these players, and pretty soon people began to ask me what we were doing, and I said, I do not have time to explain it, so why don't I just start writing books? I had never written a book in my life, but I began writing books about how we were teaching people how to win. And those books got in the hands of business people, and business people began to say this. Now, I want to draw a correlation. You got a 14-year-old kid, and you drop your daughter off to me, and all the mamas and daddies said the exact same thing. Coach, my daughter has a lot of what? What do you think they said? Talent. Potential. Every now and then they said issues, and they were right about that. But they said this, my daughter has a lot of potential. She just needs something. What do you think they said she needed? Direction. Okay, what else? Structure, guidance, discipline, accountability. Somebody the other day said a good whipping, okay? But they would say, Coach, can you do something with my daughter? And I said, absolutely. Thank you for bringing your daughter to the Greatness Factory. And that's what we call our place, the Greatness Factory. And we're going to take her, when I'm done with your daughter, she'll be able to do anything. She'll have knowledge, skill, desire, confidence. If she wants to run for President of the United States, when I'm done with her, she will have the confidence to do anything she wants to do. Okay? Now, I'm 25 years old. I write my first book. Business people begin to call me. Leaders, managers, owners of companies. And here was what was so interesting. They would say this, Coach, we got a lot of good people, and they have a lot of no issues. Y'all got to pay attention. Here's what they would say. Can't get my loan originators to call out and prospect every day. Can't get them to follow up 7 touches. Can't get my real estate agents to make phone calls every day, right? Can't get service after the sale. Will you come in and speak to and coach our people? And I would go in there and speak to those people, and they'd say, man, this was really good. We really enjoyed it. Will you come back? And I said, no, I'm not interested because I love coaching kids. I have no intention whatsoever of coaching adults. And I was speaking at Dell Computers, which is a large company, one day, and I spoke for an hour. Here's how we win. Here's what's in my book. Thank you. The guy comes to me at the end and he says this, we really enjoyed this. Will you come back? Nope, I'm not interested. Ask me again. Are you sure? We really enjoyed it. Will you come back? And I'm like, I'm not trying to be rude. Thank you for buying my book, but I got to get back and coach the kids. And he reached into his pocket and he pulled out an envelope. He said, okay, fair enough, but here's your check for speaking to our company today. And I opened up that check, and it was more in an hour than I made in a whole month. You know what I said then? Man, I'll be back every 15 minutes. You need me to come back tonight? You need me to motivate the night crew, right? Whatever. And I learned something that day. Here's what I learned. Every person in this room has a skill set that could be compensated at a much higher level. See, I didn't understand that I could get paid 10 times the amount of money by taking the very same skill set I had worked my whole life for and bringing it over to this arena. And the paycheck was bigger. Money changes hands when problems are solved. The bigger the problem, the more money people pay to solve it. Now, we got mortgage folks here. A mortgage is a manufactured product pushed through an assembly line, popped out on the other end to solve the problem for a person who cannot purchase a house with cash, which is how many people? Most. Lots of people. Does that solve a problem, yes or no? Yes. Solves a major problem. Now, what is the problem, though, is how many mortgage companies are in the world? How many real estate agents are in the world? How many title companies are in the world? How many banks are in the world? So what happens is there's so much commoditization or saturation, there's too many people competing for the same space. Everybody understand what I'm saying? And we coach a lot of real estate agents, and you look at how many agents are out there in the market, and in one market there's 3, 4, 10,000 agents in one market. They're all competing for the same space. So what lots of people do when they want to win is they go looking for an advantage. They go looking for some type of an advantage. So I said at lunch today, if I could give you an unfair advantage, would you take it? A legal unfair advantage. There's not a person in this room that wouldn't take a legal unfair advantage, right or wrong? Mm-hmm. Well, what can your unfair advantage be? How many of you believe that who's coaching you could give you an unfair advantage? Now, because I'm a former coach, listen, I look at colleges all the time and I say, look, you can take a great coach into a bad program, a bad program, and within a very short period of time, what happens? They turn that program around. Why? Because who is coaching those players matters. I live in the South. We have a guy at Alabama named Nick Saban. When Saban came to Alabama, they paid him $32 million to come in and win football games at Alabama because they had several years of bad football. And people started to complain, oh my God, I can't believe he's making $32 million. He's the highest paid employee, state employee in Alabama. Well, in the very first year with him, they brought in over $95 million of new revenue. They paid for all 8 years of his salary in the first year. Was that a good investment? Yes or no? Yes. Now, here's the deal. What they wanted is they needed a winner. They needed somebody to come in and help build. It is no different when you're running a title company. We need a winner. When you're running a bank, we need a winner. When you're running a mortgage company, we need a winner. We need people to go in there who are highly trained. So let me ask you this question. How many of you have ever had a good coach at some point in your life? What did that coach do for you, by the way? How many of you have ever had a good coach, and what did they do for you?
Good coach or great coach?
Great coach. What did they do for you? Did you just have a good one?
Just had a good one.
Just had a good one. That's a shame, man. That's a shame. Because there's a lot. Because there's a lot of just good coaches out there in the world, and that's a problem in the business world today. Is lots of people have woken up and called themselves coaches, but they've never really done anything. They've not won a championship. They haven't built a business. They haven't done anything. They just wrote a book about how to do something that they're not even doing themselves. Everything I show you tonight, I do. When I tell you about that you should be prospecting 2 hours a day, every day for new business, I prospect every day for new business. Everybody with me? When I show you the selling system I'm going to show you tonight, everything I tell you to do, I do. And I constantly tell my team, I will never be a hypocrite. I will never go out there and tell other people to do things we're not doing. If I tell you we're going to go 7 touches in the follow-up, when you indicate interest, we're going to go 7 touches in the follow-up. We're not going to go 1 touch or 2 touch. If I tell you we're going to try to extract 5.7 referrals from every transaction, we're going to try to suck out every opportunity we can out of every transaction. We're not going to just tell you to do something we're not doing, okay? So over the past 10 or 11 years, all I've been doing has been coaching business people. And those are what I call little baby stars that are just getting started, that are trying to really do something big in the world, all the way up to people that are earning, you know, $5 to $10 million per year. We have mortgage originators in our coaching program right now that are doing $142 million of production, and that's a very high number We have real estate agents in the program that are doing 150 to 200 transactions per year. We have financial advisors in the program that are doing 3 to 4 million of personal income per year. So we're coaching a large group of people, and there's one thing they have in common. Guess what that one thing is? They're all hungry. And when I say hungry, Gene said this, they are already successful. You're here tonight and you're already successful, yes or no?
Yes.
Because unsuccessful people, when Gene put this out, wouldn't show up. Here's what I tell people, I don't attract negative people. You know what they're like? I don't want any piece of Captain Positive. You know what I'm saying? So I attract high achievers, people who are producing and they're happy, but they're not satisfied. That sound like you? You're producing at a level. How many of you think that there's a whole nother level for you to produce at? Yeah, there's a whole nother level for you to produce at. So here's the question. When you make a decision to become great in your life, to drive your potential, to push, to achieve your dreams, in Dayton, where do you go? See, this is a question I ask everywhere in the world. Like, if I lived in Dayton, and I woke up one day, and I'm running the bank, and I go like, I'm ready to get serious about my potential. Where do I go? There is nowhere for you to go, right? So what do people do? They spend thousands of dollars. They go to a seminar for 3 days. They go get all jacked up on, I call it cotton candy, and it tastes good, and they go home, and what do? They go back to doing what they used to do. They do a very small percentage of what they learned. And I ask people, how much did you learn? I don't care what you go to, how much did you learn, or what are you doing? Most people say less than 5 or 10% of what I learned I'm actually doing. So I believe coaching is engaging people in a set of systematic behaviors that allows them to do something tomorrow they cannot do today. Now notice this, okay? So let's say I got real estate agents on my team. Here's what I would say. We're not going to train every now and then. We're going to train every day. Training is not something you did. It's something you do. Because if you don't train and coach, you don't get any better. So what happens is we reach a ceiling. We reach a ceiling of complexity. And that ceiling of complexity is I've grown, but now I've plateaued. And that plateau is typically I make the same amount of income year after year after year, or a small variance. I get to the same place, and I don't know how to break through that ceiling. Okay, just like this room has a ceiling, I don't know how to break through that ceiling. Okay, so tonight what I'm going to show you is one way we help people break through the ceiling is we help people with a selling system. Okay, and what I mean by that is when you go out to get customers and sell something, the first question I always ask is, are you hitting your goal, your sales goals? And there's 2 answers to that question, either no or yes. If I am hitting them, then typically people are like, well, I'm hitting them, but I don't have any time for my family. Or I'm hitting them and we're crushing it. Let's take the $142 million mortgage producer that I'm coaching. She's got a 5-year-old daughter, 6-year-old daughter. Sometimes she's up at 3 o'clock in the morning doing loans. That's tough, man, to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning doing loans. Okay? But she's driven, she's focused, she's intentional. You understand what I'm saying? She's operating at a very freakishly high level. And she's got an engine that most people don't have. Does that make sense? Because there's not a lot of people that say, man, I'm going to get up at 2:45 and write loans. You know, it just sounds exciting. You know what I'm saying? So when you're thinking about it, most people do not have a selling system on how they go out to generate customers. Okay? So what they do is they come into the day and there's a lot of confusion about what they should be doing. And confusion is a problem that appears to have no solution to it. It's like, what do I do? Who do I call? What do I say? How do I follow up? How do I overcome objection? These are all confusions that people have every day. So when you're thinking about it, I'm going to show you a system tonight that we use to get customers. And if you follow this system, I predict that you'll grow your business by as much as 43% in a 1-year cycle. Okay? But you got to follow the system. If you kind of follow the system, it don't work. If you halfway follow the system, it don't work. So you need a long obedience in the same direction. Now, here's what I want you thinking. The purpose of any business, and this is where a lot of people fall off the wagon, is to create a customer. Peter Drucker said that. The purpose of any business is to create a customer. Now, let me ask you this. Is it possible, and how many of you have gotten up, gone to work, been busy all day long, serviced customers, went home exhausted, and not did one thing to generate a new customer? Is that possible, yes or no? As a matter of fact, that's how most people run their days. Now I bring this back because I want to eliminate any confusion. No matter how busy I get as a real estate agent, servicing my current clients, I need at some point in my day, every day, to be focused on new money, new clients, new money, new money, new money, new money. Let me tell you why. What you don't want to happen is I'm so busy servicing my current customers, I don't have any time to prospect, and because I don't prospect, I have a very slow October, and a very slow November, and a very slow December. And as a basketball coach, I always said this: there comes a time when winter asks what you did all spring and summer. So how do you avoid having a slow October and a slow November and a slow December? Is you work a system every day. So my philosophy is simple. I go to bed tired and I wake up hungry. I go to bed broke and I wake up hungry every day. I don't even look at my bank account. It don't matter how much money I have or don't have. My mindset is every day I'm focused on the future. Everybody understand? So you got to remember this, because in my system, I think you need to be prospecting 2 hours a day. Every day. Okay? Now, when I say that, how many people agree that they should be focused on new money for 2 hours a day every day? How many people agree with that? Now, let me ask you this question. How many people are doing it? Now, I want you to think about this, because nowhere I go in the country, see, the purpose of this business is to generate new money, new customers, new money, new money, new money. But what will happen is you'll spend all of your time trying to service what you currently have, that you don't spend any time on the future. And the future comes at some point, whether you're ready for it or not. Everybody see that? So we prospect every morning from 9 to 11. So what I do is every morning I train, because training is not something you did, something you do. So every morning, if Gene's on my team, we do 15 or 20 minutes of coaching. And it's not difficult. It's how to make outbound phone calls, how to overcome objection, how to position or stack value on the front end of a deal, how to follow up appropriately, how to extract referrals. Does that make sense? It's just tactics and strategies. So at 8:30 every morning, we're in my office training. Okay, then at 9 o'clock, we're all on the phones. And we're working on outbound leads, trying to generate new money, because I firmly believe that to grow a business at a rapid rate, you need to have time every day focused on new money. I don't care what you do for a living. Okay, if I'm running a bank, somebody in that bank needs to be calling on current customers for referrals or new customers. Somebody needs to be working a system so that every day we can go out there and produce. Now, is it 100 phone calls a day? No. I would never tell somebody to make 100 phone calls a day or even a week, which is what a lot of people do. Who am I supposed to call? Don't matter. Just call somebody. That's what most coaches teach. Here's my strategy. Could I get you to do 3 to 5 things every day to generate a new customer? We did this with a bank a few years ago, about a $2 billion bank, 500 employees, 43 branches in 38 cities. And here's what they wanted me to grow their retail sales division. They wanted to open 10,000 new checking accounts in 1 year. And they said, how are we going to do it? I said, it's simple. We're going to get all 500 employees doing 3 things a day to generate a new customer. We're going to give them a bucket of things they can do. They can call on current clients and ask for referrals. They can call on new people. You understand what I'm saying? They can cross-sell or upsell. But every day, all 500 of these people, the secretaries, the IT people, the city president, the branch managers, the commercial lenders, everybody in the bank is going to commit to 3 things a day every day. Now, when you get 500 people doing just 3 little bitty things a day, guess what we grew? We grew that bank 43%. We opened up 10,645 new accounts in 1 year. What was the strategy? Just get them on board with doing 3 things a day. Even the secretary answering the phone could do 3 things. But before I got there, guess what they were doing? How many things do you think they were doing a day? 0. I'm like, what's your strategy? We ain't got one. And they were a successful bank. That bank was owned by one person, by the way. He just crossed over, I think, being worth $1 billion personally. So one man owned that bank. Okay? So it was already a successful bank, but could it be more successful? Yes or no? See, this is a success trap. Well, I'm already doing 50 real estate deals. I mean, what more do you want me to do? Well, there's somebody doing 100 real estate deals. And there's somebody doing 200 deals. And there's somebody producing at a higher level, and you could be that person. So don't fall into a success trap that I'm already good and I can't get any better, because I see a lot of people fall into that trap. Does that make sense? So when you're thinking about this, the purpose of any business is to create a customer. And remember what I said, we generate money by solving problems. Money changes hands when problems are solved. So we have to get very clear about what problems that we're solving for the marketplace. Now, how do I know if you have a successful business? I want you to look at number 3. Your business is successful if you can pay yourself what you're worth. Okay? You can pay all of your expenses. You can pay your taxes. And then at the end of the month, you got a big old pile of cash that is still left over. And you can take that big old pile of cash that is still left over and reinvest it in something. That reinvestment could be in more employees, it could be in more staff, it could be in new markets, it could be, for me, it's been in millions of dollars of real estate, taking the money from my coaching business and reinvesting it in real estate, reinvesting it in partnerships, reinvesting it in other businesses I'm partners on. But I didn't have any money if I didn't get a successful coaching business. Does that make sense? If I couldn't get my coaching business kicking off enough cash, then I don't have anything to reinvest. Okay? And I didn't really know this when I started. I just went out there and worked the system I'm going to show you tonight. I just worked the system. And then I remember waking up one day. Remember, I'm an old basketball coach. I just put my head down and I just worked the system. And I remember waking up one day and go, man, I've got $100,000 in my bank account. And I'm like, what? Now, when you've been a high school basketball coach, you've never made more than $60,000 a year in your lifetime. And I'm sitting there going, man, I got $100,000 of cash. Then I looked up and I had $250,000 of cash. Then I had $500,000 of cash. And I'm like, man, I'm starting to make some money here, right? What am I supposed to do with this money? Now, here's the problem. Don't tell people you don't know what to do with your money, number one, okay? Because trust me, you will have a lot of advice about what to do with it. Does that make sense? Oh, you need to do this. Oh, you need to do this. Oh, you need to do this. Don't tell people, hey, I got a bunch of money and I don't know what to do with it, okay? But here's my point. I stepped back after 11 years of running my business. This didn't happen in year 1. It didn't happen in year 2. It didn't happen in year 3. I was just out there trying to make it. You understand what I'm saying? I had no employees, no assistant, no team, no nothing. Just like you, just grinding it out every day. But then I started to say, how do I take this and multiply it? How do I 10x it? How do I 5 times it? How do I make it bigger? So what's the first problem I see in business people is that they're not creating enough revenue. They're not selling enough to pay themselves, pay their expenses, pay their taxes, and have money left over. Does that make sense? So what they're doing is they're just making it month to month to month, and there's no investable capital to put into their future. Now, for my real estate agents in here, most real estate agents never invest in any retirement. So what happens is at some point in the future, when you decide you don't want to do this and you don't have capital coming in and you're not selling houses or doing mortgages, you need money over here for later in life. Everybody follow what I'm saying? The more houses you can sell, the more money you're going to have, the more investments you can make, the more you're going to set yourself up for the future. So all of my retirement plans are set up on this cycle, 47, 52, 55, and 60. That means at 47 I want a certain amount of cash. If I never want to speak or write another book again, if I just want to sit around and do nothing, which I don't think I would want to do, but let's just say I did, all my retirement goals are set up on those cycles. If I want to stop at 47, I want to stop at 52. I want to stop at 55. But I can't do that and still have 40 more years of life without what? Enough cash. Where does that cash come from? You got to get clear. Where does that cash come from? It comes from our business. Everybody understand? So we have to get our business successful enough, kicking off enough cash. Now, how do we get it successful enough? We learn how to sell at a much higher level. Everybody understand what I'm saying? We have to learn how to sell at a much higher level. Now, when you're thinking about this, I'm going to let you work on this at your table. I heard this once. I can't take credit for it. I don't even know who said it. But it is the best sales strategy I've ever heard. Money, let's see how much cash I have. Oh, I don't have my cash on me. I got it over there in my bag, okay? I got credit cards, though. Now, every dollar that is in your pocket started in the pocket of another person. Yes? Why did they take that money from their pocket and give it to you?
You provided them something.
That's right. What did you provide them?
Good services.
A solution to their problem. Now, here's what I would tell you. the agents that make the most money, let's just say real estate in Dayton, I guarantee you are the best problem solvers. They got some special skill set in solving a problem. They can put a deal together better than anybody else. They can network with anybody else. They can communicate better than other people can. There's something, there is a unique skill set that they have. Average skill sets make average money. Unique skill sets make superior money. So I want you thinking like this. You have a unique skill set. Some people would call it a unique ability. That unique ability is some superior ability that you have. It is typically detected very early in life. It is like when you're playing in that zone, it is like, man, you are like compounding energy. It is not subtracting energy from you. It's like, man, you are on fire when you're in that unique ability area. Now, when you take your unique ability and solve a problem at the highest levels, you get compensated at a very high level, right? So I want you to think about this. Who are the highest paid people in our society? Artists, entertainers, athletes. We pay good money. I went last night to a minor league baseball game. We pay good money to watch other people perform at a high level, don't we? But I want you to see yourself like that. The better you become at your craft, the more money you're going to command. The better you become. Let's go back to my $142 million mortgage producer. She's an incredible problem solver. So when other mortgage people can't get deals done and they say, man, I just can't do it, here's what they say. Call her. Because she's like the closer. Like, it's done. When you call her, she can get it done. And I've seen great $80 or $90 million people who couldn't get it done. Goes to her, it's done. Okay? Now, you say, why? She came to Nashville to be a country music singer. She was competing versus Shania Twain and Leanne Rimes. She didn't make it. Somebody said you should get in the mortgage business. She got in the mortgage business, started on the operational side. But she spent years on the operational side. Guess what she learned? Every single operational loop you can imagine when she studied the operation side. Then she moved to the sales side. Almost every time when I hire a person in my company, I start them on the operational side. And you know why? Because I want them to see how we do what we do and understand it. Does that help them sell better? Yes or no? Yeah. When they understand how the operations works, it helps them to be much better on the sales side. And I really want operation people who know how to sell. So everybody in my company, I want them to learn how to sell. I want them to learn how to ask for referrals. That means I want them to learn how to communicate effectively. There's not enough of this training going on. So, okay? So I want you to tell the people at your table right now, what is your unique skill set? And if you don't know it, it's okay. Because a lot of people don't know this yet. How many classes did you have in school in this? No, you're not going to have any. My daughter will not have any, and she's going to a private school. She will never have a class in her unique ability, which is a shame. I went to college for 9 years to get 3 degrees, 400 hours of college credit, and I never had a class in finding my unique ability and figuring out who would pay me the most money for that ability. Wouldn't that be something you'd want to know? You see what I'm saying here? So to initiate the sales cycle, you first have to figure out what it is you're selling. And you're not selling a product. You're not selling a product. I don't care who you are in the room, you're not selling a product, because I can find that product anywhere. What are you selling? Yourself. You're selling a unique skill set to solve a problem. And the more you understand this, the more you're going to go out to the market and know who do you want to solve problems for. Okay, so let me say it to you this way. What's the largest check you've ever cashed in your life? And who wrote you that check? And where did it originate? And why haven't you gone back there to get another one? Everybody see that? Because when you go out to every day, what do? When you come in today, like, who can I call? Well, I could just call on anybody. No, you need to be thinking, you don't need to think like that. Well, I could call on anybody who has a pulse. Anybody who can fall. Is this how most people sell? Yes or no? Hey, if you're out there and you got some money, I'll go on. Here's how you should be thinking. Who out there in the Dayton market would write me the biggest check to solve their problem? How do I get in front of those people and explain my services and become so valuable to them I'm a must-have versus a nice-to-have? Everybody see that? That's how we should be thinking every day. Not like, well, let's just go to work and hope somebody calls us. or hope the phone rings, or hope we can list a house, or hope this. Which is how most people come into the day. Very unintentional. Okay? So take a second right now and tell the people at your table, what do you think your unique ability is? What is your unique talent or skill set? And what problem do you think you really solve for people? Because once you know this, now we're going to move to the next part, which is how do we go get in front of these people? How do we find these people, okay? Take a second and work on that. Don't be shy.
Hi, Chris. My name's Joel.
To really sell at the highest levels, this is the first element of understanding. Money changes hands when problems are solved. Okay, now let's take this advice. I keep picking on the mortgage originators. I'm a real estate agent. I've got a mortgage originator. I'm happy with my mortgage originator. There's no way I'm leaving who I'm with to come to you unless what?
You can solve the problem for them.
Okay, Brian? Brian's a top real estate mogul in Nashville. Okay? He traveled with me today up here. Does a lot of deals. We're talking major deals. Okay? When you choose a mortgage originator, for you to leave the one you currently use and go to another one, what would they have to do?
You have to solve a big problem for me.
That's right. They got to solve it. Listen, people don't move for this. So when you're calling on people and calling on real estate agents and going, we'll do a good job, we'll close on time, you know, it'll be stress-free.
That's your job.
Here's the deal. The person I'm currently using is doing all those things. You need to come to me and say, look, let me tell you something. When you leave who you're with and come to me, this is what we give you. This, not this. We give you this. Then that gives them enough to even think about leaving. They ain't leaving yet. How many times do statistics tell us you got to follow up? 7 to 14, 15 times, 80% of the time. So if somebody does call on Brian, here's what I guarantee happens. I guarantee he gets hit on by mortgage originators. I guarantee they make him a pitch. Then he probably never hears from them again. Maybe 1 or 2 times. I guarantee you they don't go 7 times. Now remember, I'm an old coach. Coaches play percentages. Right? If you tell me it takes 7 to 14 touches 80% of the time to close the deal, guess how many times I'm going to go? I'm going a distance, man. I ain't going 1 or 2 times. Okay? So my point is, you got to get clear about this to even initiate a selling system, in my opinion. Okay? Now, when you wake up, you can solve small problems for small money, or you can solve big problems for big money. Okay? And we call that bluegills versus blue marlins. So you can fish in the local lake for bluegills, or you can fish in the Gulf of Mexico for blue marlins. Okay, so you can wake up and solve little bitty problems, make a little bitty money. I'm a real estate agent. What's the average sale price of a house right now in this market?
$127,500.
What is it?
$127,500.
Lord, we got to get y'all a new market. I'm just kidding. That's a little bitty. Okay.
Ours is $197,000.
Okay, good. All right. Okay. What is it in Nashville right now?
Nashville's about 265, Brentwood's 467.
That's right. That's why I want to live in Brentwood. 467 average sale price. Seaside, Florida right now, average sale price is $1.7 million.
That's not even on the ocean.
Okay? That's right. It's not even on the ocean. Here's my point. Are you still solving the same problem at 167,000 that you are at 467 at 1.7? Yes or no? Yes. You're still solving the same problem. So you can wake up and fish for bluegills, or you can fish for blue marlins. Everybody understand the difference? Okay? And only you can make up your mind which one you're going to go after. A lot of people wake up and go after little bluegills all day long. Okay? And then they're like, well, man, I'm not making enough money. I'm not making enough money because I'm not solving enough problems, big enough problems. Okay? Now, once we know what our solution is to the problems, then we have to go look at it like this, because this is where our focus comes in. How many of you have ever said at some point in your life that you're inconsistent? One of your biggest problems is inconsistency. Okay? What about this one? Time management. This is one I hear all the time, man. I got a time management problem. I got an inconsistent problem. What is that really telling me as a coach? It's telling me you, say it again? That's right. It's telling me you got a priority problem. You don't have a time management problem. What's happened is you've got confused about what you should be doing during the day, which is creating what? New money. The purpose of any business is to create a customer. So we can't lose focus about what we should be doing during the day. So I want you to think of this. There is a high value of your time, and there is a low value of your time. A low value of your time is when you do things during the day that have nothing to do with generating new money. Okay? Nothing to do with where you're going. Nothing to do with your dominant focus. Okay? So this should be a tangible number, broken down to a quarterly number, broken down to a monthly number. Everybody with me? So if you want to make $1 million, let's say you want to make $1 million bucks, you need to sell $83,333 every 30 days. And if you hit that number every 30 days in a 12-month cycle, you will have sold $1 million. Everybody see that? Now, that doesn't mean you collected $1 million. It means you sold $1 million. That money's going to come in at some point in the future. So every day I look at my goal, my dominant focus, and I look at my actual. Every single morning I look at my goal and I look at my actual. And I ask, where am I in relationship to my goal? And how many days do I have left? And how hard do I need to push? Okay? Now, how many people right now do you think look at it every day? Okay, I want you to think of this. I write my goals up every day. So what I do is I have a planner, and every day I write up in my planner, I kind of write my goals up every day. Everybody see that? So I time block my day, and then over here, these are my targets of who I'm going after. And I'm very intentional. So at some point during the day, I'm like, what should I be doing right now? What should I be doing? Here's what I do. I go straight to my sheet. And I go, I need to call that person, I need to call that person, I need to call that person. 98% of people do not come into the day with a plan. They may plan weekly, they may plan monthly, but they don't sit down every night and think about, how do I come in tomorrow with a plan? Okay, you're in college, right? You married Gene's daughter? Was that scary? Okay, good. Here's the deal. They teach you how to plan your days in business school? You're in business school, right? But they don't teach you how to map out your days. See? Here's the problem. They should give you all that money back that you paid. Here's what they should be teaching in business school: how to make money. Yes or no? How to understand money. How to create a solution to a problem. How to map out and plan out a day. How to overcome objection. How to go 7 touches in the follow-up. How to get 6 referrals out of every transaction. That's what they should be teaching in business school. But they're not. So if he's not getting in business school, and I'm sure he's paying a lot of money for that degree, how do you expect your employees to know this? Where do they learn this stuff at? They learn it in Monster Producer. It's like going to school for your business. You understand what I mean? Now, I'm going to show you a few more things. Okay, then we'll let Gene get up here and explain a little bit about the program. Y'all having fun tonight? Y'all are awful quiet. I thought Dayton people were like, wow, that's what they told me. Woo! What? Okay, they're all calm. Eugene attracts calm people. Here's the deal. High value of your time, low value of your time. So how many hours should we be prospecting every day? 2 hours a day. How many people are going to commit on this? Don't make me come up to Dayton and check. I will follow you around. Don't think I won't follow you around. Don't tell me 45 minutes to get up here. I can jump up here one morning and just follow you around all day long and see what you're doing. Here's the deal. High value of our time, money generating. Low value of our time, sitting around doing something that ain't generating money. Everybody clear on that? So 2 hours a day needs to be spent in prospecting. I'm going to show you who to call in a second. So next time you catch yourself, I wear a wristband that says swag. I wrote a book called Swag, which was for confidence. And when I catch myself doing low value activity, I take it off and put it on the other hand. And it's a reminder to me, you don't need to be doing this. This is a low value of your time. Okay? The other day I was doing it in a meeting I was in with a person that knew that I did that, and they were like, is this a low value of your time? I'm like, yes, it is. I don't need to be in this meeting with you right now, okay? It's a low value of my time, okay? High value, low value. Now, I'm not asking you, most business coaches drive me crazy. I don't drink the Kool-Aid like everybody else does. You got to remember, I come from a different world, from a basketball world, from a systems world, from a mindset world. They're going to tell you make 100 phone calls a week. You got to call 100 people. Don't matter who you call. Just talk to people. Join the chamber. Go to networking events. What I want you to do is just say, look, for 2 hours a day, I'm going to do nothing but focus on new money. Okay? But I'm very intentional. I don't cold call people. I call people I think I can help, right? Now, I may call on somebody and say, look, I helped the bank do this. If I could help you, I don't know who you're using for your training, but are you training your people? Do you believe in training? Yes. Are you currently satisfied with who you're using? Well, are you getting the results that you want to get? No. Would you be open to me explaining our services to you and showing you what we did for another bank? If we could do that for you, what would stop us from at least meeting and talking about it? Does that make sense? I don't cold call people, though. I warm call people, okay? So here's the activity that I have. Now, when you come into a day, here are the categories that we teach people. Okay, when you come into a day, with these categories. Every day I need a hit list, and a hit list are people I'm calling on to generate new money. Okay? I'm calling on people to generate new money. Now, could that be a strategic partner? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. Could it be a past customer?
Yes.
Could it be a current customer that you're asking to send new business to you?
Yes.
Or sell them something else? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Could it be direct leads that you generate in the market? Yes or no? Yes. So when your people get to work and they're like, who should I call? That's what a lot of people say, like, who should I call on? Those are 4 areas you can call. I call on insurance people, mortgage people, real estate people, attorneys, business people. We even have a doctor in Houston, Texas that I coach. I call on different people if I think I can help them. So here's my criteria. Do I think I can help Chris? And if I do think I can help Chris and he's interested in his potential, which you obviously are, you wouldn't have came tonight, you wouldn't have sponsored this, then if we believe the same things, why wouldn't I call on him? All he can say is what? No, I'm not interested. No, I'm not interested. But a lot of people have this hesitation to call. What's the hesitation?
Fear.
Fear of?
Rejection.
You remember what we talked about consideration today at lunch? A consideration is a hesitation that you have. That is an internal hesitation that prohibits an external action. Like, I won't call on you because I'm afraid you won't answer. I'm afraid you'll say no. I'm afraid you're already working with somebody. I'm afraid you'll reject me. I'm afraid whatever. That has nothing to do externally. That has nothing to do externally with the issue. Everybody understand what I'm saying here? Because I don't know the truth, the answer to that until we go through it. Now, when you're looking at this, I got new money. That's my hit list, and I got Farm Club. Farm Club are people who have indicated interest in my services, but I haven't closed them. They've indicated interest at some point in my services. How many touches should we be going?
7. 14.
That's right. So let me ask you this question. If the stats tell me it takes 7 to 15 touches 80% of the time, do you think I should have a great 7-touch system? Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we need to work that 7-touch system. Okay? So I want you to calculate right now how much money is in your Farm Club of people that have indicated interest in using your services, but you haven't closed them. Is that a significant amount? Is it enough to get your attention? Okay? I wrote a book on this called $1 Million Follow-Up. And you know why? So many people suck in their follow-up. Wouldn't you agree? Here's what people say. Do you have any questions? What do you think that leads to? No, I don't. Okay? Every time you follow up with a person, you should follow up in a very specific way. Hey, we met. There's 2 things that you said you wanted. There's 3 things we said we were going to do. Have you seen enough to make a decision? I believe we lose 10% of momentum every day we don't take action. Everybody see that? You need to be very specific. I had a person follow me once and say, hey, woke up thinking about you this morning. That is creepy, man. Don't tell people that. Don't tell people you woke up thinking, hey, man, I dreamt about you last night. Woke up thinking about you today. But this is how pitiful people follow up, right? So we teach a 7-touch system in how to follow up because I think a lot of money is lost there, okay? Now, let's look at 2 more categories. Let's look at this one, which is the top 25. This is where a lot of money, because I'm doing a contest in September. I want to drive 125 referrals in 90 days. Now, how could I do that? If you were coaching me, how could I do it? How could I do it? How could I do it? You're my branch manager. How could I get 125 referrals in 90 days? A, would you like your people to do this?
No, absolutely.
Absolutely. So how many people think it's possible to drive 125 referrals in 90 days?
Yeah.
Now, it seems, when I first say it, like it's undoable. Let me tell you how you can do it. You go to your 25 best people, your 25 best clients, your 25 greatest sources of influence, your 25 highest referral capacity people, and you say to them, look, we're doing something really big. I can't do it without you. I love working with you, and I've done a pitiful job of asking you to help me grow this. But I need you to bring 5 people. Today, Chris Robinette, how many people did you bring us today? Just today? 19 people. He alone brought us 19 referrals today. All we had to do was what? Ask him. See, people are vague. Can you help me? Hey, if you know anybody, tell them to call me. Here's my business card. For this to work, you got to get very specific, which means I call my top 25 people, right? And I say, hey, I'm doing something really big. I can't do it without you. Can you bring me 5 people that you think we can help with our services? If this has been meaningful for you, would you go help me in the marketplace? And those 25 people bring you 5 people. That's 125 referrals in 90 days. Now, what's the problem with most people? What do you think the problem is with most people? They won't do the follow-up. And they don't ask. There's that consideration again. Scared to ask. Listen, revelation, conviction, action. If you've had big revelation about your business, that you're good and you can help people, would you have conviction? And with conviction comes action. Everybody see that? So when you don't follow up or to ask for referrals, here's what I say. You ain't got enough conviction, man. You ain't got enough conviction in your product or service. So 25 people, how many people think they'd like to do that in the last 90 days of this year? Go for that challenge. Make it a challenge. And if you hit it, do something big, man. Take everybody to the Bahamas. Do something cool, man. Bring all your people down to Nashville. Everybody loves Nashville. Come to Nashville and sing country music with us, right? Do something big, okay? See, I want Gene's team to take this challenge. Don't be afraid of this challenge. Say, I'm in. We can do this. Now, the first problem is people don't have 25 people they can call on. Here's the numbers. For every 30 people you go through, there's only going to be 4.8 that are interested in your services. 4.8 out of every 30. This is why you got to go through thousands and thousands and thousands of people to find good people. You got to go through a lot of people to find good people. In a given week, I may go through a couple thousand people. We may get 100,000 views, downloads, podcasts. I have to go through that many people just to get down to the best people. Does that make sense with you? Not everybody's going to buy in. So you got to go through a large number of people. Most people are not calling on that, okay? Now, are there any questions? Now, these are primary strategies. So when I come into a day, you say, how does this work? It's real simple. When I come into the day, you'll notice in my planner, I got a hit list. It's typically 3 to 5 people. So I'm calling on 3 to 5 new people every day. I don't care what I'm doing, where I'm at in the world. I guarantee you I'll find time to call on 3 to 5 people. Then I've got 3 to 5 people I'm trying to close. That's my farm club. How many touches am I going? 7 to 15, right? Remember. Then I've called on a couple of my top 25, my biggest clients. Then I'm loving on a few of my new customers every day. Everybody see that? That's a rhythm I have. Call on new money, close money in the pipeline. Call on my biggest clients, love on my new people. Everybody see that cycle? If you'll do that during the day, now you may be thinking, man, he must spend all day doing that. No, I don't. I spend a couple hours doing it. The rest of the time is spent servicing clients, servicing customers. Okay? So I want to stop right here. I want you to tell the people at your table, out of everything you've heard so far, what's the one thing you're going to commit to doing? When you leave here, it is of no value to you to come and hear this and not go do something with it. Okay? And then we'll bring Gene back up and he can overview the program. I want you to talk about this is what I'm committed. This is a Vince Lombardi moment. We're stepping across the line. All right? So what are you going to do when you leave here tonight? What are you going to go do?
Spend 2 hours.
You ain't got to tell me. Tell the people at your table. Thanks for telling me, though. Now, this top 25 strategy, guys and girls, who are you looking for? You're looking for your best client, 24 more of your best client. I don't know anybody in this room tonight other than the people who I came with. I knew Gene. Gene introduced me to you. Gene leveraged his time and his energy and his resources to get you here. I didn't. He did. You see what I'm saying? I have 25 Genes. I have more than 25. I got 50 or 75. And those people are just out there fighting, bringing referrals. You understand what I'm saying? You need your own little army of people fighting for you. But the only way for you to get another person to fight for you is you have got to get them to a much better place in their life. You have to get every individual person you work with to a much better state in their life. And when you get them to a much better state, they are willing to go fight for you in the market. And I don't want you to say, well, you're in the motivation business and you're in the coaching. I'm just a real, how do I do this as a real estate agent? That's one of the biggest, most stressful transactions of a person's life. If you listen, less than 9% of people remember their real estate agent's name after the transaction is over. They don't even remember their name. Now let me ask you this. We should be so close when this transaction is over that you go bring me 6 people. The stats actually say 5.7 referrals from every real estate transaction and every mortgage transaction. You should get 6 referrals. But here's the problem. 98% of agents never call a customer back once they put them in a home. Everybody see that? So you're saying, oh, I want to build a referral-based business. I want to have all this abundance. I want to go out this. But you're leaving out a core component of this, which is, number 1, getting them to a much better state, and number 2, following up with them after the sale. So what we do in this coaching program is I call myself a professional reminder. How many of y'all tonight said, he reminded me of something I need to be doing? Right? Either you did it or you used to do it, but you got away from doing it. Or you know you should be doing it and you're not doing it. So what I do a lot of times is I remind people to build a successful business, this is what you have to do. Training your people every day, prospecting for 2 hours a day, following up 7 to 15 touches, service after the sale. You got to do these things if you want to grow. Some of you are not doing these things and you're like, man, I need to be doing it, especially if I want to grow. Some of you just got away from doing it because I hear that a lot. Well, I used to do that. I used to plan my days out, but I got kind of lazy and I quit doing it. Man, Les Brown used to say, used to be's and wannabes don't make any honey. Used to be's and wannabes don't make any honey, okay? Now, we're going to close it out tonight with Eugene can come up. Here's the deal. This program is a monthly coaching program. We are looking for a certain type of person who is interested in growing their business. They're interested in exploding their business. They're interested in being a part of a dynamic community. There's 600 people in this coaching program. I started it with 8. Okay? And we have people in Alaska. We got people in other countries. I got a request this week to speak in South Africa. I mean, it's growing to where it's just all over the world. And here's the deal. It's just like-minded people coming together every month and working on things like this. And what should be happening is y'all should be exchanging business with each other. You should be pushing each other. Yes?
These two never met, and now they're already talking about a partnership.
There you go. See? And you just met tonight. That's what should be happening, is building a dynamic community of like-minded people where the best people in Dayton come together. And you come together once a month and you do one thing. You focus on your business. And you take time. Now here's what you're going to say. Well, I'm already so busy. I'm already so busy. Listen, if you can't give yourself an hour to an hour and a half a month to focus on you and your business is not functioning like it should. It is too dependent on you. And you, listen, we saw logs all day long, but we seldom take time to sharpen the saw. You need an hour and a half a month, you need to focus on you. Focus on your life and your business and your goals and your future. Okay? Focus on your future. Give yourself that gift every month, because that's where you really, really get better. Okay? So Gene, finish this up, and then we're gonna give them a chance to take advantage of something tonight, and if they want to take advantage, they can, and get in, and we'd love to start coaching them. Right?
You get access to everything that Coach has in Monster Producer on a monthly basis. There are, I can't tell you how many touches. I mean, we have 2 rhythms a week. And what a rhythm is that Coach will impart some knowledge or something, some block that we're dealing with that week or that month. And, you know, mind jogger, a reminder, right? So we have those twice a week. And then multiple times throughout the month, we have a calendar of content that Coach will be producing and presenting. You will have access to all that. At the same time, Monster Dayton, we will have every Thursday, third Thursday of the month, we'll get together, and what my unique ability is I am a re-engineer. I mean, I'm in the science. If you don't know me, I used to be in the science of mathematics and IT and such. So I look at a problem from different perspectives, and I can eke out the value. And so what we'll do is we'll go through this content. You will actually go through the Monster Producer content that Coach provides. And when you come to that third Thursday here in Monster Dayton, we will work on sharpening that sword together. We will flesh out that content. We will talk about how to maximize the concept. We will flesh it out. It will be accountability. Much like the accountability groups that I've been a part of nationwide, where you get to be honest, right? It's going to be a venue where you know, we really exploit and expose so we can grow. We don't have to hide. We don't have to retreat and contract. You will be with like-minded individuals who care for your growth. That was the one thing that I have found when I was traveling abroad, is that every time I came to these places, I found caring people. I don't care how much money that they were making. I mean, and some of them were making a lot of big money per month, 6 figures a month. And they came over to me and say, hey, I can help you with this, right? And we also, at the same time, we have some shockers where they'll come up to your face and say, you kind of suck.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you need to hear that,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, and let me tell you how it's changed my life. When I started doing that, when I tried to make sure that I wasn't chasing that sunset head knees, and started listening to those folks that weren't in the frame with me, I started to create this accountability for myself. I mean, it's a difficult task every day. It's not fun for me to write out my planner every day. I like to cuddle up with my wife and talk to my kids and text, and I got this little pool game I like to play now that my daughter got me addicted to. And that's my little bitty escape.
Yeah.
But I've now created practices so that I can have my tablet next to my bed, because I think that's important for me to start my day off playing. Jim Rohn said that when should you start your day?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When it's finished.
Yeah.
He plans out the day, right? So you have to be attentive to what is actually money-making activities.
Yeah.
High-value activities, as Coach said. So writing those plans out daily is important. When you miss a day, yep. But when you know that you're going to get back every third Thursday and talk about this concepts, and then the high-level caliber people that are part of these groups are going to say, well, how's it been? What are you doing? Well, I didn't fill out my planner. Did you make some calls? Do you have your top 25? Well, I got 3, right? See, so in my firm, you know, I don't impose, right? I chose not to do practice that way. You know, you're an independent contractor, but you're part of a firm family. And so I create best value activities. And I will try to impart by giving you that information. But in this coaching piece, we're gonna get together and say, you need to do this. You came here, you invested in yourself because you want to get to the next level. This is what you told me. So either you're lying to me or you're lying to yourself. Which is it? And sometimes you just gotta hear it. Sometimes you gotta hear it. So that's what we're doing in Dayton. Monster Dayton is going to be the opportunity for you to sharpen your sword. Those who associate assimilate, which means if you're vibrating at a high frequency, you'll start to match. You'll start to play at a higher level. You'll start to have different speed, right? We are our beliefs. We act off our beliefs, right? And our beliefs are created from our thoughts. So how do we change our thoughts? If we just stay in a box, don't associate us with other people, thinking at higher levels, we can't get there. But if I'm working with Chris has some information, and I'm working with Nicole, and I'm talking to Coach, and I'm seeing Chris Robert, and I'm down in Nashville with Brian, and we're talking about high-level things. Leah gets with me on Wednesday. We're talking high-level things, and we make this thing solid. We are able to create and sharpen the sword, because iron sharpens iron.
Yep, that's good.
Iron sharpens iron. So this is the vision for Monster Dayton. We're looking for this 800,000 people in the Dayton metro statistical area. There's got to be 200 of us out here who care.
Yeah.
And now we can actually do something in Dayton. I keep telling you, I kept leaving Dayton to go get great. And when Coach gave me the opportunity to coach, I was like, absolutely, because there's no one here who cares.
Yeah.
My business, our firm family is what I call them. Our associates are family, right? And we care. Number one, we don't go and search for the dollar. We care and search for what we can do to help you. My explanation of service is we do what's right because it's right. We believe trust can't be granted, it must be earned. Everybody's heard that. How we do that is we expect to give more than we expect to receive in return, right?
That's good.
We believe that we can be valued to you, and all the money will take care of itself, right? And we partner with folks like Chris and Lindsay, right? And Andy and other folks in our industry, because they're like-minded. They're looking for success. They're looking to move the needle. So if you want to be a part of this movement, because it will be a movement, We are going to be doing big things. There's going to be people that's going to connect with us, that's going to vibrate us and create new thought and create new opportunity. We'll have a voice in Dayton. Who are all these people in Dayton that's making all this noise? This monster, I'm about to get excited.
I like it. That's good.
Yeah, and my folks know that I might get a little, what I call lathered up. But I'm real excited about what we have as an opportunity here in Dayton. I'm hoping that you see that as well and can be a part of it. Coach is going to come up and explain how.
So I'm going to do this real fast. We have people in our coaching program paying as much as $60,000 a year to be coached by me. That's a lot of money. We got people paying $40,000 a year to be coached by me. These are people making millions of dollars who want to get better. Okay, what we've done is we've created a program where we can put people together that allows you to cost share the cost to come in and get coached every month. So the investment for Monster is $4.99 per month. So 1 year coaching program. Okay, we need a year for a reason. Takes us a while to consistently coach you. Does that make sense? Remember what I said coaching is: ongoing, systematic coaching to get you to a better place. Now, I went to Gene before this and said, here's what I want to do, because I want to fill this up. What we're going to do tonight is for every person that gets in at $4.99, we're going to let you bring one person for free. So you really get 2 for 1. Does everybody understand that? So if 2 of you want to get in and split the cost with each other, then you got into a year's worth of coaching for whatever that is, okay? I was a health teacher, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what. But my point is this. You cut it in half, and I said, Gene, look, you can fill this room up. The people getting coached for $2.99 a month. They get 2 people in. You get a year's worth of coaching for less than $3,600, $3,700. That's a lot of coaching. Now, when Gene said, what you're going to get is everything I put out. And remember, I'm coaching those 600 people. Gene is a product of our coaching program. These guys are products of our coaching program. Everything I put out every month, which is 12 to 15 things a month. I put out up to 4 live trainings a month, 2 short trainings a month, every Tuesday and Thursday in the private Facebook group. You get all of that. Plus, you get Gene every month coaching you through the very things I'm coaching on. So there will never, you'll never say, well, I didn't get enough coaching. There is an abundance of coaching, okay? And anybody who's in the program will tell you that. So if you take action tonight, okay, if you take action tonight, you can get 2 people in at $4.99 a month. So you get 1 person for free if you want to split it up between each other, you and your wife. We do other programming too. So me and my wife are very involved in the program. My wife is finishing a book right now called Living with a Monster, okay? And so we have a program that we do quarterly for couples about how to work and live with driven people. How do you get on the same page? How do you get in one accord? Because I've had a lot of people say, I can't get my wife on board. Can't get my husband on board. Hey, that's what you said today too. You got to sell your wife, right? Okay, well, here's the deal. Now you can get both of you in for one price. But my point is, I can't tell you how many times I've heard this. That's why it does my heart good to see Gene's wife here, his daughter here. We do stuff for kids called Raising a Monster. Okay, Living with a Monster. And I'm a faith-based person, so I do a lot of faith-based events. I'm not shy about my faith. I push it out to the marketplace. I do Christian devotionals. I'm writing a book called The Accountable Church that's for pastors. So I'm not ashamed of what I believe. So when you get in our program, we have all of that available. We do retreats around the country that you have access to. We do those in Florida. We're doing one in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho coming up. We do them New York City, where monsters go to a certain place for 2 or 3 days, and we work together on one concept with other people. So tonight the offer is 2 people for the price of 1. $4.99, you can get 2 people in at that price. Does that sound like a fair deal to you? I don't know any other way to make it any cheaper for you for a year's worth of coaching than that, because we don't typically do that, and I have not done that in any other market. Okay? I know we're videoing this, so I guess all the other markets are going to get mad at me. But I haven't done this in any other market. In Phoenix and Memphis, in all the markets we've opened up, I have never done 2 for 1. So I just told Gene, man, I think this will be good to fill the room up. So if you're interested, my team's in the back. We can help you. If you want to talk to me, if you want to talk to Gene, we'd be interested. If you need to see more, just let us know, man. We'll let you come back again. Okay? If you need to see enough to make a decision, then make a decision. But I guarantee you'll get all your money back. My goal is to get you 5 more deals, 5 to 15 more deals on what you're doing. So for all my real estate agents, minimum of 5 more deals you should get in the program. Do the commission on that, and that's how much you should be earning. Imagine getting 1 more a month, 2 more a month. All my mortgage originators, same thing. 5 to 15 more deals a year is what you should be getting if you're working the program. like you should, okay? And that more than anything pays for your coaching plus an investment. Fair enough? Okay. Thank you guys for coming tonight, man. You guys were not, y'all all right, man. A little shy, but that's okay. Y'all were a little shy, but that's okay. So we'll be in the back. Turn the music up. We may give them some margaritas and let them dance or something. Come on, except the underage over here.
They're all of age.
Oh yeah, they're all of age. Okay.